I'm Alex, and I'm here on behalf of A Bridge for Kids, a small nonprofit built to help high-achieving low-income teens get into college. We have a simple belief that talent is universal, but opportunity is not. And every day I meet high-achieving, brilliant teens who are hardworking and full of dreams, no fault of their own due to financial circumstances. And before we dive into A Bridge for Kids and everything we do here, let's talk about one of our students, Jose. This is Jose. He grew up in Tijuana, and as you may know, being San Diego locals, Tijuana is one of the highest crime rate cities in the world. And as a little boy, he witnessed violence and crimes that no child should ever have to see. So his family, searching for a better life, tried to chase a dream of education for Jose. So Jose began going to school in the US, in San Diego, where he would cross the border every day, waking up at 2 a.m. and would go to school, and then his father would pick him up, returning to the house at 8 p.m. that day. A huge day for a kid. And as time went on, every border crossing became more and more of a risk that they wouldn't be able to get in. So chasing this dream of education, they moved to America. And this dream didn't last long when it was shattered by his parents being deported, where Jose was forced to make the impossible decision to stay in America without his family, where he slept on the borrowed floor of a garage using a towel as a pillow and a sheet as a blanket. And in spite of all of this, Jose continued to be an exemplary student in school with a 4.27 GPA. He became the first student ever at Crawford to get a 5 on the AP exam. He led his cross-country team as a captain to the CIF championship, where he broke multiple school records. And on top of all of this, he worked a 70-plus hour work week at the San Diego Zoo just to feed himself and to send money to his family. It's crazy. And then, chasing this dream of education, he went on to graduate as valedictorian, where he went to attend UPenn University to study economics to continue chasing this dream of education that his family set for him, all with A Bridge for Kids by his side. And the point of this story is that, yes, Jose right here, he is exemplary, he is awesome, but his situation is nothing short of extraordinary. There are thousands of students out there who face similar circumstances every day. So on the screen here, you'll see 620 little people. And that's not just some random number or anything. This is these students here represent 476,000 students in our public school system, all right? Of all the students here on this screen, what would you think the percentage is of students who are low income? 60%, illustrated by the students here in blue. That's 286,000 students who have potentially stories just like Jose. And with talented and driven students who are left to navigate these systems without them in mind. And with only one college counselor per 620 students that you see here, that's double the recommended ratio by the American School Counselor Association. It's so easy for our students to get lost in the crowd. And this ratio is just the tip of the iceberg. The collegiate application system has become a heavily monetized process favoring more affluent students. The SAT, for example, standardized testing, things like the SAT and the ACT have time and time again proven to favor higher income students who can afford this niche and expensive application or expensive preparatory class. And this is not new news, right? We're seeing studies from New York Times, Harvard, Wall Street Journal, Brown, NBC, and a bunch of other sources that, again, prove that there's a direct correlation between income and high SAT, ACT scores. And that's where Bridge for Kids steps in. Rather than offering a single program to fix one problem, we offer our students with a roadmap to surround them with a comprehensive suite of programs and opportunities all geared towards getting them into college. So, what does that mean? We have financial sponsorship, $1,000 that all of our students can spend on academics, athletics, arts. One story that always sticks out to me with this particular program is what I like to call the eraser story. And we were telling a student how to spend his sponsorship funds, and it has to fall in one of those 3 buckets: academics, athletics, arts. And he said, "Does that mean I can buy an eraser?" And we said, "Yes, of course you can buy an eraser." And he said, "Oh, that's really cool. I've never owned an eraser before." And so that right there sunk with me, because it made me realize that something that I've always taken for granted, like an eraser, could mean so much to someone else, right? So this illustrated a few things: that we are not only offering our students the basic necessities that they need to thrive in school, but we are also allowing them to, or we're telling them that we believe in them, and we are giving them the opportunity to have these resources without having to go and ask their parents for money that they didn't already have. All right. Next, we have tutoring, which is we help pair them with a tutor, and we offer them a tutor in any class they need help with. We have SAT and ACT prep, which we kind of nailed in the point earlier. We're leveling the playing field here. We offer SAT and ACT prep for all of our students. We have a health and wellness program, which is a new program where we help our students stay well-rounded by offering fun activities like rock climbing or ice skating or bowling. We go camping on Catalina. We went to a Broadway show the other day. Just fun activities that we want them to try. An impact story that I like to share here is our student V, who she recently saw like a TikTok or something, and it told her to say yes to things. Try new things, try fun things. And then she received an email from me saying, "Come rock climbing." And she is so afraid of heights, but this TikTok told her to do it, so she said yes, and she signed up, and she shows up. It's a Saturday, we're about to rock climb. She gets on the rope, and her knees are shaking, her palms are sweating a ton. She's so scared, but she does it anyways, right? And then she started to realize, she wrote us this whole essay afterwards, and she was like, "This made me realize that I can do things," right? Saying yes to things can only help me, and it's not as bad as it sounds once you actually get there and you start doing it. And this yes mentality started going into other things, into her academics and college applications, where then she decided, yes, I am going to apply to my dream school. And now she's at UCLA. We also have technology equality. When you think of a student, what's the first thing you think of that's going to be in their backpack besides an eraser? It's a laptop. Every student has a laptop, but not every one of our students or every student in general has a laptop. So in this upcoming digital age, access to adequate technology is paramount to student success. All of our students get a laptop and access to Wi-Fi if they need it at home. We also have college application counseling. As you know, with Jose, all of our students have a story to tell. We just help them put it into paper. And we do so by pairing them with a critically acclaimed author to help them tell their stories. We have mentorship, where we help them navigate these collegiate roadmaps and application systems. And one thing that's really cool, over the last 12 years of running the nonprofit, we have seen students go through the program, graduate from college, and then come back to sponsor and mentor their own students. And who better to mentor these students than the ones who have actually gone through it themselves and took advantage of all of our resources. And lastly, we have college tours on both the East Coast and West Coast. They're super fun. They take about a week, and we travel either from San Diego all the way to Stanford, or we will fly to the East Coast, where it's, for the most of our students, it's their first time on a plane. And illustrating the impact of these college tours, we were at Yale one year, and this was 5 years ago. We were with a student named Marilyn. We asked her, "What do you think?" And she said, "Oh, it's great, but I could never afford it." And we said, "Well, how much do you think this costs?" And she's like, "I don't know, $50,000, $70,000 a year, $80,000. We said, "Well, no. For you, it's free. Because for a student like you, with the story you have, with the grades you have, and the test scores you put out, and your background, you would get in for free." And she didn't really believe us, but she said, "Okay, I'll apply." And guess what? She got in for free ride to Yale. She had a little sister who was 4 years younger, who went on the same exact college tours with us. 4 years later. This was last year. And toward Yale, we asked her the same question, do you like it? She said, yes, my sister went here, I want to go. And she also applies and also gets in. So these college tours, they just show these students that they do belong here. And perhaps most importantly, out of all of these programs, we create a community that believes in our students and shows them that they can do things. And now let's talk about our students. So as much as we want to help every single student in San Diego, all 476,000 of them, we don't have the means or resources to do so. And that's why we focus on students who are working the hardest despite the steepest of odds. We support high-achieving teens from low-income families, almost all of whom are first generation, and all of which qualify for free and reduced-priced meals, which means, I might have mentioned this earlier, they're operating at $40,000, $500 or less for a family of 4 per year, all right? These are the students who show up early, stay late, and keep striving even when resources are scarce. These are the Jose's of our community. So now the fun slides that everyone likes to see. This was in Catalina when we were camping, by the way. This is our impact. Over the last 12 years, over 1,000 sponsorships. This year alone, we've achieved our 5-year goal of sponsoring 200 students at one time. We have had a 100% high school graduation and college attendance rate over the last 8 years, hundreds of college campus visits, which equals hundreds of miles walked. And just last Saturday, we raised a record-breaking amount at our Dreammakers Gala of $360,000 in a single night. And the impact doesn't stop there. Our students are thriving at some of the nation's most respected institutions. So give a shout out if you hear your college here. We'll start with UCSD, SDSU, Stanford, USC, UC Berkeley, UC Irvine, UCLA, UCSB, UC Riverside, Providence, Amherst, ASU, UVA, TCU, Northwestern, Swarthmore, Johns Hopkins, Vanguard, MIT, UPenn, Cornell, Columbia, Princeton, Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth. And that's just, guys, that's just the last 3 years. We've been operating for 12 years. So now you know what we do. You've seen the numbers behind our work, and you know who we are, because I'm the only employee. But the numbers only go so far. I want you to meet another student of ours, Brianna. Like Jose, she grew up with tremendous potential, but very few resources. And with a Bridge for Kids, she was able to turn this potential into possibility. So let's hear it from her directly.
My name is Brianna Diaz, and I am proud to say that I am a first-generation Latina who beat the odds against me with a Bridge for Kids by my side. Growing up, I would wake up at 3 a.m. to cross the border for a chance at a better life, at an education. Visiting colleges all over the country, a new pair of running shoes, a camera, or the chance to pursue hobbies that I enjoyed, these seemed unimaginable to me. Survival mode was all I knew. I was so concerned with surviving my circumstances that I never thought or even had time to believe in myself. But when I met a Bridge for Kids, everything changed. They were the first to hear my story and actually care. With the support of my sponsor, I was able to afford running shoes, so I no longer had to run with holes in them. I finally could afford the athletic apparel that I needed. My world really changed when a Bridge for Kids took me all over the country to visit universities. This is what made me realize my potential and the power of believing in myself and my dreams. Their sponsorship was much more than relieving a financial burden. They were my family. They are my family. So I am here today to tell you the rest of my story. I graduated from UCLA, the #1 public university in the US. I quit my 9-to-5 job at age 22. I run my own business as an online coach, teaching women how to live healthy lives through fitness and nutrition. I change lives every single day. And I would have not been able to do this without a Bridge for Kids standing by my side. My name is Brianna Diaz, and my dream is that the next generation hear my story and remember that it is possible to break through the glass ceiling. Thank you, a Bridge for Kids. I would not have been able to do this without you all.
But Brianna is another amazing example of what can happen when incredible resilience is matched with timely support. When a student has the drive, but lacks the access to tutoring, technology, mentors, or even basic school supplies, their path, like an eraser, their path narrows significantly. But when access is provided, that changes everything. The maze of college admissions becomes navigable, goals become reachable, dreams become actionable. If you've ever wondered what your role is in addressing inequality, here it is. Mentor a student, fund a sponsorship, partner with us, or anyone else who advocates for accessible and equal education. Share our story and share their stories. Mayerling, Valerie, V, Jose. Every brick you lay, every dollar you give, every hour you spend extends our bridge a little further. And when one student crosses, a family can follow, and then a community, creating generational change. You have the power to help build the bridge to a brighter future. Thank you.